Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Paul Gerst with Travis CI. Welcome to another Office Hours with Travis CI. First and foremost, thank you for taking the time to attend today. We really appreciate your time. We want to provide value to you and keep it brief. Today, we expect to be about 45 minutes. Today's topic is how to build quicker. Today, Travis CI's Michael Mendy will demonstrate how to configure your Travis YAML file to utilize faster virtual machines, which will lead to quicker build times. He will review the VM size options to show performance differences. Michael will be about 30 minutes or so. Then we're going to be joined by Steve Aldridge, Travis CI's Head of Customer Success. He's going to review the benefits of using a larger VM and can answer some of your specific questions. Then we're going to have time for your questions. In the interest of time, please keep your questions to the comments at hand. If you have a product-related question, please email support@travis-ci.com. We want to do this regularly, so please let us know what you want to hear. These topics are by request, so we want to hear what you're interested in talking about. Today, we are extremely fortunate to have Travis CI's Michael Mendy join us again. Michael Mendy is one of the most prominent members of the CI/CD community. He's a software engineer with Travis CI. He regularly speaks before groups talking about CI/CD. He's spoken at IBM, DroidCon, Lead Dev, ARM Dev Summit, just to name a few. His intimacy with CI/CD pipeline comes with extensive knowledge of things like YAML, Docker, and other software infrastructure technologies, managing high-level server systems from small to large-scale deployments around the world. I'm going to turn it over to Michael. Michael?
Thank you, Paul. It's a great introduction, as always. I really have to give it up to you on those intros, so thank you. So today I'm going to be doing a demo called Using Bigger Virtual Machines to Speed Up Your Build Pipeline in Travis. So I think it's a win-win here. And the reason being is who doesn't want their builds faster? So let me go to next slide here. So you may be asking, but why choose a bigger VM? What are some of the advantages? So I'm going to list the top 3 obvious ones. And kind of get into some granular ones after these kind of top 3 ones that are pretty obvious. So faster builds, keep your pipeline cleared, and great for multi-threading. So faster builds, meaning it shaves off time your build. So let's say you have a Python script or some unit tests that are going on one stage or maybe various stages, and you're running on AMD and you're running on FreeBSD. That's a pretty niche setup, but albeit you want to save some time, so you go with a medium-sized VM. So that'll add 16 cores, and then once those 16 cores are added, maybe go to another stage and you'll have a 2x, and that will add 64 cores. And what I'm going to do in this demo is also show you how to make sure you're running those VMs and to make sure those cores are actually active and to get the proper information within the Travis CI raw log. So next slide here. Here is the sizing table for the Travis CI VM. So in your .travis YAML, if you define large, you're going to get 4 vCPUs, 16 gigabyte memories. This requires credits to use. You're going to get X large if you define it in your YAML file. This is 8 vCPUs, 32 gigs of RAM, and this requires credits. With the 2X large, this is 16 virtual CPUs, 64 gigs of RAM. And this requires credit to use, may be limited to some certain plans. Again, this might be something you want to talk to support or email me about, and we can definitely get you going with a 2X large if need be. So not sure why these were pixelated. They were clear when I uploaded them, so sorry about that. So what OS can I run premium virtual machines on? So you can run them on Linux, FreeBSD, and Windows. So our Windows support, as you know, is 3.2 server, and in the near future here, hopefully we'll be upgrading that, and obviously some of the Windows support that we currently have. All right, so now let's start the screen share here. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, hopefully you folks can see my GitHub. All right, so let's go into the .travis YAML here. So you'll see a few things here. I've defined Python as my language. I've skipped the install because this is just going to be a simple Python script that's going to be running and grabbing. It's just going to be grabbing 3.7. You'll see I picked my distribution, which is Focal Fossa. And then you'll start seeing here, this is where I am defining the VM size, right? So you'll see here, these threads and cores, I want to echo those out to see how many threads and cores am I getting with that medium, and to make sure I'm actually getting exactly what those sizes are in that sizing table when I define medium. And of course, we're going to go all the way up to 2x large. And then after this demo, I will be showing you a demo with a Python script attached to it. So let's go to this. This one's already passed, but we're going to restart the build. So let's restart this, and let's go to view config, and let's make sure same config. Always important to do that. Yep, this is the same exact configuration. And now remember, these are all going down basically higher and higher. So this is the 2x large, x large, large, medium, and then this is just the regular. And these are all provisioning. Let's see here. Oops. Let's refresh. So here we go. These are already building, and it looks like, let's go back to here. It looks like they're all building in tandem. We got 11 seconds, 12 seconds. Let's see how this one is doing. This one is probably going to finish first, just because of simple fact, this actual VM has 64 cores. I'm sorry, 64 gigabytes of RAM and 32 CPUs. And there you go. So when I ran that free G -G command and then echo those threads and cores using nproc, you'll see the memory here, 62. And I'm going to go back here and show you the other ones here. You'll see this one has 31 cores, this particular build. And of course, this is using nproc and making sure that that exactly what I define is actually what I'm getting. And you'll see kind of how seconds are getting shaved off as we go here. And these are just by seconds, because this Python script is not anything particularly complex, so you're not going to see insane time shaves. But let's go to the first one here. You'll see, so this is the regular. This is just example 1, 7. And then we'll get to the large here. And then you'll see 15. And then you'll see the buff cache at 1. So that's 16. So again, so you'll see kind of that's how the VMs actually work. I've defined them all. I've made sure exactly that's what I'm getting. And looks like I'm happy. Looks like all the builds have passed. Let's go to one that actually has a Python build attached to it here. If you don't mind, let's go to repositories, multi-VM Python. So we have a Python script here that I've made. It's called factorials. So basically, this is just going to build and give us a formula at the end and calculate it. So let's go back and let's take a look at the .travis YAML. And now you'll notice kind of an extra step in this YAML file, which is schmodding of the factorials, which is giving it permission to actually run, and then me running it with Python 3. So you'll see me changing the permissions, making it runnable, and then actually running it, running Python 3 factorials.py. And you'll see here, VM sizes are increasingly getting higher and higher, just like my last pattern. And this is probably the best way to do it if you are going to use multiple premium VMs in one build. So let's see how this works with the Python script. let's go to the build, and we're just gonna restart the build. Let's make sure it's the same config. Yep, 3.7. Yep, schmodding the factorials.py, and here's the JSON of it even. So technically, if you don't want to use YAML, you're always free to use JSON. Up to you. So that's the great thing about Travis is the flexibility here. So all of them are provisioning here. Let's see. So it looks like this one's provisioning. So this one is obviously the 64 gig. We're going to go back here and check out this one. Now they've all started, it looks like. Let's make sure. Yep, so they're all starting here. So this is going to be the 7 or 8 or 8 gig. This is going to be the default one. One thing to actually note here is you can actually define the default one to say just medium. I didn't do it in this case, but I've made medium and the one that we use for default provisioning 2 actual different stages, and you don't have to do that, but in this particular case I did. So again, you'll see all different types of times. So you'll see it gets shaved off the more and more basically cores I'm using. So the 17 seconds, 31, and you'll kind of see here the factorials run. So that means the Python script worked, and the VM actually worked. It shaved off 4 seconds. And again, these Python scripts aren't anything crazy. You can imagine if you have a really complicated pipeline, how many seconds, minutes, potentially 10 minutes, these things could shave off your actual build time. I have obviously personal experience with that, and have some pretty good examples in my head that I can't share, obviously, but highly recommending anytime you want to shave time off your VM or build, or really anything, specifically services. So let's do this. Let's say if we wanted to add like a service like Cassandra. So let's say if we added Cassandra, which is Apache Cassandra, that VM would go out and fetch Cassandra a lot quicker than it would, say, if you had just a regular Travis CI build in our SaaS offering. And so I think when you start setting up services, specifically, Apache Cassandra, let's say you have Docker 2 and Redis, and you're pushing up to AWS, and you're doing Azure as well. So you can kind of see step by step how these things can actually start becoming very useful, and they become really the bang for the buck after a certain amount of time. So yeah, so I think that's it for the demo. I think I'm going to introduce our CSM, Steve Aldridge. He's going to explain some things here for the next 10 minutes. And again, as Paul said, this was going to be under 45 minutes. And I think my demo was a good 15, maybe going on 20 minutes here. So I'll pass this on to Steve Aldridge.
Thank you, Montana. So hello, everyone. My name is Steve Aldridge. I'm the head of customer success for Travis. So my team is here to basically make sure you're successful with the product, make sure you get the value out of the product. So my CSRs basically will be proactive in their communications. And one of the things we like to do is best practices. So as you just seen from the presentation and demo here, one of the best practices is the use of premium VMs. Now, premium VMs, the nice thing about it is that since it can be a YAML file entry, you can run it on whatever builds you want. So whatever your bigger builds, or whatever you determine you need to run it on. Now, as Montana said, you will need credits for this. Credits, basically, there's 10 credits per build minute on a normal build, okay? And that's multiplied as you use large, extra large, 2x large, whatever. So it will chew up more credits if you run on bigger premium VMs. So, but the nice thing is you can play with it. So, hey, let's run it on a large. Was that good enough? No, let's run it on an extra large and whatever. You'll buy the credits from us. You can buy them on an annual basis. We can help you kind of predict how many you may need. on an annual basis based upon, the build minutes you want to run, especially on the premium VMs. You can have it auto build basically, or auto fill your credits. So if you have a credit card on file with us, we'll monitor it. When it gets to a certain place, it'll auto fill with a certain amount of credits, and you can choose, how many you do. So we're flexible in that regard. One of the nice things about Travis CI is that we offer you different types of plans as well. Most of the CI companies out there, you're usage based and using credits. We also offer concurrency plans. So with usage base, you can still do, you buy credits and you use them for all your builds there. So as I said, 10 credits per build minute on Linux. As you build on the bigger VMs, then it'll chew up more credits. And then we also offer what's called concurrency based. Now, concurrency based basically allows you unlimited users, unlimited builds. The only governing factor is the concurrency level. So you can start at 1 and you can go all the way up to 300 concurrent jobs. So, and anything in between. So you actually pick what level you think will work for you. Let's say 10 concurrent jobs, and then you can run that and see if it allows you to kind of get your builds through in a reasonable time period. And again, you still have the option of buying credits and using those for certain builds on your concurrency to make sure you get on a premium VM. If you so elect, you can also do it permanently. So if you say, hey, I want to run all my builds on a large or an extra large machine when I'm under concurrency, we can actually set it up so that it can point you to that queue every time. So, and again, you still need to use credits and whatever, but it'll run all your builds on whatever premium VM we point you to. So you have that option as well. So it really is flexible to determine, do I want to do usage based with users and credits? Do I want to do concurrency so I don't have to worry about the number of users and the number of builds, and then I just have to worry about what concurrency level I want? And even if you choose one, say a 10 concurrent, and then you find out that it's like, well, it's not really doing the job, we can bump you up in a short period of time. So you can go to 15 concurrent, 20, 25, whatever. If you need more credits to run more premium VMs, we can do that as well. So Travis is very flexible in how you do your builds, just based upon, how you want to manage it. Do I want unlimited users? Do I want to pay for the users? Do I want to pay for the builds? Do I want unlimited builds? And so on. But using premium VMs, we think is a way to help you do your builds faster, cut down on queue times, and be able to get your work done that much better and faster. So that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. I think Montana, we're gonna open it up for some questions now.
Yeah, so I do see one question. It says, hey, can this workshop be recorded? Yes, the workshop, as Paul said, will be recorded, and we're going to be posting it over on the Travis CI blog as soon as this is over. And I think this also gets posted up onto YouTube. One thing to mention also about the premium VMs, you can ask us, say if you don't want to define every single time you want to be on a 2x large or a large, and you're starting your .travis.yml, you can reach out to us and we can actually just predefine that for your provision. So when your VM starts provisioning, it'll just already be on a 2x large or whatever have you picked. So I think that's one important thing as well to save you a lot of time, because I do know of some folks and some customers that have that set up with us that just don't want to define every single time, we want this to be running on a 2x large. So we can go in from the back end, and that's something that you could reach out to me or support on, and we can get that going for you. So again, you don't have to actually define that in your .yaml file every single time you start one up. So that's something else to keep in mind. So
And if you're not a current Travis CI customer, we have trials available for you. So it's easy to sign up on the website and get your trial very quickly. You get 10,000 credits that you have to use in 2 weeks to do the trial. Feel free to ask us questions during the trial, or if you want Montana to give you a demo of how to set things up, how to run your first builds, whatever, we can do that as well. So, but I encourage you, go to the website, check it out. And if you want to, fill out the form to do a trial, and then just reach out to us with any questions.
Oddly enough, I did get a message and a question in my LinkedIn inbox, which is awesome. The question is how much, what's the maximum RAM that a VM that you folks offer can hold? Right now, as I stated, it's going to be 64. So when those vCPUs that I was showing and the memory with that the threading that I echoed out, that'll kind of show you what we offer. And again, we'll also have these slides available so you can kind of go over the VM tables as well. But to that question, 64. And also, again, I would encourage anyone to take a trial, start a trial, and start off with premium VMs if you feel like it. And yeah, see how you like them. And I think at the end of the day, Travis CI, when it comes to premium VMs, and not only that, just kind of the structured model that we have is a lot more flexible than, say, something like Jenkins. And again, Jenkins is kind of maybe a little bit of a different beast here, but we're still a little bit more flexible on how we can do our syntax, kind of our VMs, definitely the structure. And we also offer the on-prem solution as well. And we will be doing a webinar on the enterprise on-prem solution here pretty soon. So you can kind of get a look at, how we do that as well. So.
I think we have another question out there, Montana.
Let's see here. Would upgrading to a performing image upgrade the pass rate of the automated end-to-end unit test? To short end of your question, yes. That is more of a deep question that it might be worth you and I exchanging emails. But for a 30,000 foot view, to I guess answer the question quick, yes. All right, just waiting to see if I get any more questions. Yeah, so for ETE tests, yes. To clarify, Ahmad, for the ETE test, yes.
Thank you all very much for coming today. To thank Michael and Steve. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. Look for future office hours on the Travis CI blog. Have a beautiful day. Thank you all very much.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, everybody.